Alright, welcome back to another Sunday Scores video. I didn't think I was going to have anything good for this video, and then I did. Oh, including this. So this guy showed up in my yard on Thursday night. Let Scout out to go pee at like 4 in the morning, because she always has to get up in the middle of the night. And this little guy just was following her around the yard. And he was starving, and he was cold, and he came right up to me, and he was so friendly, and I gave him treats, and brought him inside. And he was starving, he ate a bunch of food, drank a bunch of water, curled up on the couch right next to me, and just fell asleep for a minute. I waited for a minute. There's no one out looking for him, and we were up there for like an hour. Finally just came back to bed. He just hopped right in bed and curled up on my shoulder and went to sleep. Oh, but it's alright. He's the friendliest little dude. And he has never barked once. He whines because he wants to meet other dogs. The other dogs. He's like, let me go see him. He's a runner. He's bolted through the door and just ran, and I thought he'd never come back. I was hoping he'd go home, but instead, he just comes right back over here. He goes around the block peeing on everything, and then comes right back. He has fleas, he's unfixed, he has no tags or collar of any kind. I've been taking him to the park twice a day every day, and he is so excited to see other dogs and go sniff them. I don't know if he escaped a homeless camp, or possibly with, his nails aren't trimmed and no socialization. I think maybe he lives with a really old person who doesn't take care of him, let him out. I put flyers all over the internet and all the lost dog pages and all over Facebook and the neighborhood app and the Multnomah County websites and stuff, and no one's looking for him. I'm gonna put some flyers up around the neighborhood. I'm gonna see if he's chipped. It's the holiday weekend. I worked all weekend, so Tuesday I'll see if he's chipped. But if not, I'm gonna try and rehome him. He's a cute little dude. That was my first score of the week. My second score of the week I'll show you at the end. I got a bunch of junk from Temu because I wanted one little thing and could not help myself because I'm a crazy person. This week I've been working at the community cycling center, right in the window. I've been working at the community cycling center, this summer, just as a little extra help for them. And they're going through a hard time after a restructuring and complete turnover of all the staff and management. And they decided to have a big giant clearance sale to get everything out. They had just hundreds of bikes. They have like 2 warehouses. They just keep putting more stuff in and not selling them. I'm like, guys, get that stuff out. I cannot sell if it's not here. Sell bikes, sell bikes. So this big sale, brought all the salvage sale stuff there. It was there all weekend. I barely got to go look. I got one really good thing. And just brought all these bikes out, all the salvage sale stuff. Big giant sale. Look at all these things. So I did get some stuff from that. I got some stuff that was sitting around there. I've been sort of slowly picking. I got $400 in used parts allowance. It's like one of the only perks you can get for working there. And so I've been slowly collecting stuff. I spent $200 last weekend, the weekend before. God, what did I even get? I don't even remember. Some stuff. And I spent the rest of my 190 some bucks yesterday, plus threw in $9 in cash and got some stuff. This big box is the most fun thing, and we'll get to it in a minute. Everyone was buying. I was busy helping customers. I couldn't go dig. And someone walked in and donated this whole box, which is normal. People donate boxes of parts all the time. And I was just in gold rush fever. I saw it. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, those are kind of cool wheels. And I saw there's a couple of old boxes in here and some stuff in the bottom. And I just said something real stupid. I'm like, don't even process this. I'll get it out of your way. I'll go put it in my car. I'll give you $20 for it. The whole box. I said, no. You really told me I could name my own prices to sucker me into work. They're like, you can name your own prices. You can pay whatever you want. You can back your truck up, load it up. And then as soon as I start trying to buy stuff, they're like, no. I'm like, oh, dude, you're killing me a little bit. But he gives me good deals all the time, so it's like, whatever. She said $30 the box. He goes, oh, you're interested, huh? So we started peeking. I'm like, I'll give you $40 if you don't look. And he goes, okay. There's a whole box for $40. We'll dig through that. But first, let's dig through the little stuff. So the handmade bike show was here last weekend, and I went, and the king cage guy was there, and he makes these cool king cages, and I was showing my buddies, and he was all excited, but he couldn't afford, $90 per cage. And I went in the back, and these 3 king cages there, they're about to clean them and put them on eBay. I was like, oh, dude, I'll buy them. I'm like, how much? And they're like, oh, for you, like $10 a piece. So about 3 stainless steel, tubular, really light, handmade in America king cages for $10 each. That's super cool. I'll probably give them to my buddy as a present. My buddy Avery, even though he's a doctor and has a Tesla, doesn't like spending money on bikes because you know how people are. So looking for valve caps on a bench for somebody, and I found this nice Stronglight top cap. Probably like an A9 headset. It's aluminum. The Stronglight France is in good shape. He said the rest of the headset was dead. So I saved this cap for myself. This bottom bracket was there, and I've tried to buy it, and he keeps trying to overcharge me for it, and he just keeps leaving it on his desk in the way. So there's like 3 or 4 weeks, so finally I just threw it in my pile. And I just said, this pile's worth $10. So I got this bottom bracket for way too cheap. They're never going to do anything with it. But it is a Suntour Superb, and it is a French thread, 35x1, and it has cool Suntour Chromo dust caps and really rusty washers, but it's in really nice shape, and it's French. And that's really cool. I like weird old French stuff. French. I grabbed it. They were never going to do it. They're just going to move it from box to box to box, costing 50 or 60 cents in labor every time someone touched it for the next 10 years. I grabbed this Hooray clamp, so it's for braze-on shifters, and the shifters are missing. It's a cool Hooray one. The chrome's nice, and it has the wing nuts, and I like using these wing nuts. They're M5 thread wing nutty dudes. They're great for little rack eyelet things, because you can like hook a bungee cord to these little guys if you don't have too much tension. I use them for ring-going fenders all the time. I think that's super cool. I also grabbed this nice old Suntour one with a really rusty nut, but otherwise it's in really good shape. It's just a down tube cable stop clamp for like Suntour bar end shifters. This is great for putting any shifters on any old bike that's got braze-ons. They don't make them anymore, and they're getting rarer and rarer. I also got this. This is a set, an old set of the VO Canty rack double-sided rack bolts. I should have grabbed 2, honestly, but I was paying the retail for them, $10. So that you can mount racks off your front canties. It's like a double-threaded bolt. So it's very cool. They did the Velo Orange order. I had them order me a bunch of these. They're locking skewers. The VO locking skewers, also the Sunlight locking skewers, and any other brand who uses the same thing out of the same factory. Just the tamper-proof M5 Allen wrenches have a hole drilled in the end. This is the skewers I use in everything. I have 3 or 4 extra sets of these I've pieced together for random sales and swap meets. Just found a front, or just found a rear, or just one came on a bike. So I got 3 or 4 more sets, so I bought like 4 more of these because I keep robbing them to give them to friends who have them on their bike or give them away with bikes. So I needed some more, and they were out forever, and they're finally back in stock. Now we're going to get into some of the nicer stuff. Last minute, middle of Sunday, he goes, hey, let's make everything in the cases, like, you know, the bling bling cases. I took all these pictures, I put them on Instagram so people know to come down, rush down there. A couple people did. Everything in the cases, half price. So, as far as I know, I'm the only one who bought anything out of the cases. But I got them half price, so this is a nice old Dura Ace 7400 8-speed derailleur. It has the wrong pulleys in it, but I'm going to put alloy pulleys in it anyways. 7402 8-speed. It is not rusty. It is not scruffy. They want 40, so I paid 20. I got a couple of sets of shifters. These shifters I won 50 for. They're 10-speed mountain bike thummies by Microshift. So what does that mean? I do not know. I'm pretty sure 10-speed road and mountain are the same pole. Pretty sure, and sometimes I think they're not. I know 11 is totally different. So they're a much fatter head, so I think I could take an 11-speed friction down tube shifter like Diacomp's making now for Soma and Rivendell. I think I can get one of those on these pods because they're the bigger pods for these bigger, fatter shifters. So I might do that, but also they're just 10-speed and black, and you know I have some 10-speed mountain derailleurs and some 10-speed cassettes, and I might do up a bike with these dudes on them. And shifters are expensive when you're desperately looking for stuff, and finding the exact right shifter and not paying full price is hard, so I do tend to actually hoard shifters. Those things I rarely sell. So everything else you can usually find pretty reasonably pretty quick, or find something to work. This is crazy. They want $125 for these. Again, I paid half price, so like, I don't know, 62 or whatever. They are a set of Paul thummies, black Paul thummies with 10-speed generic Shimano shifters on them, BS79. They're saying they're Dura-Ace. No, that's not Dura-Ace. This is generic nonsense. Dura-Ace with like say 7800 on them, bro. It would be nicer. So just weird generic 10-speed Shimano shifters, but again, on Paul thummy mounts, these are nice. I'll use them on something. Black Pauls. They have shift cables with them. Nothing like, why? No one wants some used cables? I don't know. Oh, let's see, this one other thing I found. Oh, two other, I don't know why I'm a total wingnut. I found these two really nice brass washers. I don't know what they're for. I threw them in. They're just big brass washers. I found they had one Dura-Ace lock ring there. You know, I have several Dura-Ace cogs, so and only one Dura-Ace lock ring, so why not get a couple more Dura-Ace fixed gear cog lock rings? Got one of those. I found my Bike Crud sticker. The Bike Crud guy came in for the handmade show, then came into CCC and recognized me when we were talking and gave me one of the stickers and offered to make me a cool bag. And we were talking about these Japanese sodas. He makes like fun handlebar bags with like weird logos. He did like the Slurm logo from like Futurama on somebody's and some other stuff, and just said he was sick of doing boring real corporate logos. I'm like, what about these fun things? So maybe, I don't know what he wants. I'm very poor, so we'll see. I might have to feel rich. I went to the Sunday salvage sale bins out back. It was so busy, I barely grabbed anything. I grabbed a stem for my coworker C. I gave her this cool old Trek, and we're gonna do a build and build it up as a single speed town bike. They've never done a complete build on a bike. They've only bought like cheap old crappy bikes and barely maintained them. So we're gonna do like a full-on build. I found some cranks. I found some wheels. Found some single-speed chainring bolts. Found bottom bracket. But they come over here, I'll give them a nicer headset and bottom bracket and stuff out of my bins I don't really care about. But why was I even talking about that? I don't know. It's neither here nor there. But I did find one more set of these cream toe straps. A bike shop went out of business, donated a zillion stainless steel electric cages and toe straps. I have a few sets of the cages left, and I thought they're all out of the toe straps, but I found one more. Toe strappy, very excite. And then I was digging through the bars, and I threw all these bars in, and I picked up these bars, and I'm like, bro, he's like, oh, $5 on bars. I'm like, cool. And I found this, and he's like, oh, $5. I'm like, oh, give me a deal. He's like, okay. I'm like, 7. I said 6. He said 8. I'm like, okay. And then we settled on 7. So it has old On One Mary bar. It's all beat up, but these were cool. People used to like them. I'll get $15 for it. Oh, I'll save it for something like cruisery kind of bars for 31.8 are kind of hard to find. So we got these, but really this is the bar I wanted. The kids know about this. I'm surprised they didn't see it, but it's a kind of scruffy Simworks by Nitto Chromo, very slight riser bar. God, these things were what, $80 or $90 new. I carried them for a second, but they're heavy and they're chromo and they're painted, which I don't like, so I'm afraid they'll slip. But this is a hot bar. I'm going to put this on a kind of scruffy build I build to sell. It'll make that build more exciting. I might put it on the fixed gear build now, except for it's a little too scruffy, I think. We'll do something else. But yeah, the Simworks stickers are nice. $5 for a $90 bar. Seems like a good deal to me. They also had a ton of water bottles donated, and we're saying they were just like hidden in the back, and they brought them up, and they're saying I could sell them to kids for $5 each. But all the kids wanted the brand new CCC water bottles in pink, so they paid the $12.99 or whatever, and asked if I could have some. And they said sure. So I'd have one of each. So I grabbed one. This is a blue Purist bottle with some girls waving. It says "Hey" on it. My roommate steals all my bottles and loses them. I've been grabbing every bottle I find at Goodwill bins. It's like 10 cents there, but I will give her this too. I think it'll match her bike. This cool yellow one, I'll probably let her steal that too. It's a Camelback one. So I got some water bottles, all brand new. I think this is the most exciting, so I'm gonna go through this first. So this is some stuff ordered on Temu. I don't know, because I wanted one of these. This is really light duty and aluminum. I usually use like pretty heavy duty ones, but I got this for my frame alignment table. So you can roll this on the bottom of the frame alignment table and lets you know if stuff's square. So I like to come up and have a frame clamped in there. I'll come up and check the dropouts with it. So to make sure the dropouts are, I can touch each side and make sure they're in phase, and touch the centers to make sure thare in phase. If the forks are bent, you know, one of them will be like centered and one of them will be touching up here. So it's a really nice thing for doing that. It's also really nice for when I bend rack tubing, so I can make sure my rack tubing has a 90-degree angle. So I can lay part of the tubing across the alignment table and have the bend stick up, and then line this up against it and be like, oh, it needs to come back a little bit, or oh, it's like sticking way in like that. I need to do a little bit more to get it to 90, because you really need 90-degree bends on racks to make sure everything lines back up where you want it when it comes all the way back around to weld. So I got that. I got this because it's super light. It's a emergency tent. It's like that, you know, fancy material they use for like space blankets, emergency blankets. So it's like you wrap up in this as an emergency sleeping bag, and it reflects your body heat, or use it as like a tenty rain shelter. It was like $3 or $4. It'll be nice for bike camping. I think this is the same thing. I actually don't remember what this is. I think it's that kind of heat reflecting emergency material for like a sleeping pad, or you can roll yourself up in it, but it doesn't weigh anything at all. It's a little big. But I want to go do this bike camping trip. I might put that down. I'm going to take the bob trailer. I'm going to put that on the bottom of the bob trailer. The Scout's, little mat on top of it. So it's just like hidden down there for emergencies. I don't remember what this is at all either. Oh, I think I do. Okay. This is a mosquito cargo net. So it's like a tent that rolls up, but the whole thing, I think the bottom's like regular tent material, like nylon. And the whole thing is mosquito netting. And then this nylon strap just has one little hook, so you can just like go underneath a tree and just hook it to a branch hanging down or anything, just keep it off your body. Because I did try and use my tent last month, and it wasn't that hot out, and it was just stifling. I had to leave the flap open, even with like the flap down, mosquito nets. It was just not getting any airflow, and it was hot. And I was like, oh, I'm dying. I don't actually want to use that unless it's freezing and raining. And I saw some people bike camping with these in the summer, just to keep mosquitoes and bugs off you. Let all the breeze through. I'm like, okay, that's nice. And it weighs 0 things. It's like the size of a beer can, and it weighs like as much as an empty beer can. It's very light. So this will be nice for bike camping. Maybe. What else did I get? I didn't get too much fun stuff. I got another little packet of, they only sell these in like packs, and they're random colors, but they're alloy machined valve caps. And they usually only give me 1 red. This time I got 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 silvers, 2 golds, and 2 grays. Oh, so I got a bunch of matching sets. I want the gold ones from next build. I want the red ones and stuff, silver ones. It's like $2 or $3 for these. For little packs of Presta valve caps. Oh, I got this is all well for frame building. This is a digital angle finder. It's magnetic. So I got a magnetic base. So I can turn this thing on, and I can set it on anything level, a top tube or whatever. So I usually do set it on the jig. I usually level the jig with it. So I make sure my top tube's level when I'm brazing it. And I can stick it onto the head tube or the seat tube, and it magnetically sticks and tells me the angle. So I'm building the bike that I know is 73-degree parallel angles or 72.5 or whatever. I can stick on the top tube's level, frame jig's level, stick it on the head tube, and it'll be like, oh dude, you're actually 73.5. And I go, okay, I better change this miter very slightly, and wiggle the lug and actually get it to 73 where I want it. So these things are invaluable for frame building. I do it for forks. I'll often have customers mail me a fork, and I'll build custom racks to it. So I'll clamp the fork in the work stand and lock it in tight, and then stick this on the steer tube so I can know it's at the right head tube angle, so I know the rack will sit nice and level when the bike's all built and on the ground again. Otherwise you're just guessing, and your rack could sit up a little bit, which is kind of ugly, or worse, it could sit down a little bit, which is like unprofessional and gross. What is this? Oh, I splurged and I bought a set of gold alloy jam nuts, really for tubeless. If I use a red set of these on the red bike, and I'll probably use a gold set of these, even though I only use tubes. I don't believe in tubeless. I don't want leaking chemicals. I don't want things to blow off the rim. I use tubes. They are light, they're patchable, they're usable, they're reliable, they're fine. Just don't get flats. And then as soon as I ordered these, I realized they're gold anodized alloy, but regular jam nuts are gold brass. They're gold. Silly. Whatever. And this fun little thing, I have some homemade aluminum soft jaws on my vise. And they're nice, but they're annoying. These are magnetic aluminum soft jaws, like a hard rubber soft jaw. So I can stick these on my vise and clamp things that I don't want to scruff and mangle and destroy. And I think they'll probably hold things fairly tight for cutting and doing things. So they're pretty cheap. It's Temu, everything's super cheap. I'm not sponsored, I just am, broke in a dirt bag and keep buying cheap stuff. You spend so much money on cheap stuff that doesn't work or whatever. You should have just bought the nice thing in the first place, but it's hard to tell people, man. People like them deals. I know, I'm one of them. Okay, so back to this. I have not gone through this box. I barely poked around. There's some unopened boxes in the bottom, like a Dura-Ace one. I was very excited. I did pull that out and look after buying it. It is not what I thought it was. A little sad. I almost had some buyer's remorse, but I'm like, there's some cool stuff in here, and it's fun for the video, and half the stuff I'm going to donate back. It doesn't even matter. So let's start the junk on top. Here is a used old mountain rack. I don't care about used racks at all. I have a bunch. I gave them all away at my last big garage sale. I'll put these up and try and sell them for 15 bucks. People are coming in paying 15, 20 bucks left and right from the shop. I can't give them away. The shop is crazy. 10 people a day come and look for 26-inch old mountain bike wheels. But I have them sitting on Craigslist forever for half of what we sell them for at the shop. Nothing. So who knows? It's an old rack. I don't care. No one cares. Here's an old fender set. Probably no one cares. Maybe I care. Come on, man. Let go. So these are nice old SKF chromo plastic fenders. They have all the hardware. They're not broken. They have the bolt. This is the rear. This is a nice fender. I used to pay real money for these things. Here is the front. Same way. It's a little bent from the crown, but you always have to bend it away from the headset cup. So this is totally fine. It's got all the hardware and clamps. They're nice. They're just really dusty. They're barely used. They're not scruffy or wrecked on. This might be good for my roommate's bike. She's probably going to want fenders this winter. She keeps saying she doesn't, but she hasn't ridden a Portland winter yet. This is a very heavy old Sakai bar. It's a steel bar. It is heavy as shit. Heavy. An aluminum clamp. Oh my god, this is the heaviest bar I've ever felt in my life. This thing's got to be like 3 pounds. That is going to go right into the recycling. No one cares. Here's some pedals. Are they anything cool? They're just Welgo, cheapy mountain bike pedals. They're not broken at all. They have straps. They have plastic toe changes. I don't care about that, but you know, maybe someone will. I'll put them up for 10 bucks. I always save these straps because I use them in brazing. I use them to hold wheel sets together. The toe straps are handy for a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'll strap the front wheel to the down tube when I have a bike in the stand so the wheel doesn't whip around. I strap my Candy Boss jig down tight to a frame when I'm brazing so they don't move. And you heat one side up and want the other side to move or twist or do anything weird. So I'll strap these down. They always get really hot and melt. But you know, these are nice pedals. Maybe someone will give me 10 or 15 bucks for them. I don't know. Maybe. What's in this bag? Okay, we got some vintage grifters. They are 105 grifters of this silver stuff. This is probably 8-speed. They're a little sticky, 8-speed triple. Oh. They may or may not be good. I doubt it. Maybe someone will care. These old grifters always stop working. The springs get all, the old grease gets like super gunked and dried up. The springs don't work. And spray them out with silicone lube. I've done that in some videos. I'll spray these out. They're not very scruffy, but they're a little sticky. But I'll put these up on the flea bay. They're pretty rare. I'll put them up for 70 or 80 bucks and probably go and take as low as 40 for them. Should pay for this whole thing. Okay, here's those boxes that I'm going to be disappointed in. Let's check them. 9-speed era Ultegra box. Open it up, and it is a used Shimano square taper bottom bracket with no sticker and no markings at all. It might not even be Shimano. It might be a generic Shimano knockoff. Looks kind of long. Yay, a used bottom bracket that it's probably not dead. In a cool old Ultegra box. Whatever. This Dura-Ace box I was excited about. I was really hoping it would be shifters. It's 9-speed Dura-Ace, my favorite stuff. It's a rear derailleur box. I open it up. You want to know what's in here? The long cage triple derailleur for those shifters. Slightly scruffy. It's probably in pretty decent shape. Doesn't look bent. All the hardware's here. This is a nice derailleur. Okay, this is a nice derailleur. I'm okay with that. Needs to be cleaned. Matches the shifters. The long cage stuff's always harder to find. That's what everybody wants. Some brakes. RX 100 brakes. These are good brakes. RX 100 was like the generic version of 105. It said RX 100 on it, but it's all silver. It's just as nice. Most people don't think it's anything special, but these brakes are nice. I'll clean them, put them on eBay for, I mean, there's no rust or anything. I'll put them up for 45 bucks. I'll probably end up only getting like 25 for them. We'll see, or I'll use them. Oh, good, the Shimano triple front derailleur. This is the matching 105 8-speed triple front derailleur. It's in good shape. It has all the hardware. It's a little dirty. It's nice to have matchy stuff. A used Shimambo cassette. I rarely save used cassettes. I never think they're worth it. Maybe it's fine. 8-speed. Let's get in. Come on. What's interesting in here? Spectre stems. It's a lightweight aluminum, cheapy 90s or 2000s road stem. It's light. It's ugly. I'll put it on eBay for $20 and probably get it. Or I'll use it on a build. A really generic, heavy, old battery light that may or may not work that I'll probably just end up donating back to the cycling center. They sell used battery lights if they work for $6 a piece. It's a nice deal for the peoples instead of having to buy, $30 or $40 new light. Here is a kind of falling apart saddle with one big tear in the back. Transverse TT. I am just going to recycle it. It's garbage. Alright, this wheel set was sitting on top. It looks pretty nice. Let's take a look. So it is RX 100 hubs. It doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel amazing. It's a little bit loose. It still has some friction. It's got a little Hyperglide cassette on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, good, it's 8-speed. So that's really handy, so we can use 8, 9, or 10. It's got these kind of cool Mavic CXP14. And these call these Cosmic or Cosmo, like kind of aero rims. The brake track has very little wear. Sometimes these rims crack. These stuff. If the rims aren't cracked, I'll use these on a build. There's no cracks on the spoke holes or anything. It looks pretty nice. I'll see if it's round and true. I'll see if the hubs overhaul. It could be a nice road wheel, or it could be total recycling. I never really know until I get into the truing stand and look at those cones. Oh, this one is like frozen solid, like locked up. I'll have to open that cone for sure and see if it's totally... Oh, there, it's starting to move. Oh, it feels like dog shit. Those cones are chewed to pieces. We'll open it up and look. If it's round and true and there's no cracks anywhere and the brakes are barely worn, then maybe I will replace those cones. RX 100 stuff, it's kind of common. I bet I could use 105 or any generic Shimano old cones from a front hub. If it's worth doing. If it's too chewy, I will not. I think these are the frog pedals. The guy at the eBay store there said that the old men who are wing nutty about these are... It's like a stainless... This might be a titanium, dude. This is so light. The guy told me these frog pedals the old guys are wing nutty about. They're really about the cleats. They're worth their weight in gold. These pedals are real clean and real nice. And... this one's a little chewed up from a wrench that went wrong. Couple of 3 times. It was in real tight. These might be worth $20 or $30. I don't really know. Alright, there's some forks. I guess let's get to this. This appears to be possibly new in the bag. Probably used and stuff back in the bag. Set of the horrible clamp-on SKS race blade fenders. Ooh, there's a razor blade in their logo. Race blade. Only 240 grams a set. Yes, this is bro nonsense. These things just have these rubber straps, and they strap around your fork blades or your stays, and they bump and they move and they rub your little tire, and they're totally ridiculous, but they're easy and fast to take on and off. Bros only want them on for races. They barely give you any protection. Looks like there's an extra set of straps and zip ties in here, which is cool. Some racer bro might be into buying these for pretty cheap. I'm sure they're like $70 or $80 new. I'll put up Craigslist for like $20. We'll see what else is in here. A light mount. Does it possibly go for this light? Possibly. Hey, alright! Something's not missing the hardware. Everything's all corroded inside. The batteries aren't, leaking and corroded and destroy the light. That's cool. Here's a little backlight with a very weird proprietary thing. Oh, this might just go on the back of a rack. And just have one little dude to thread it on. Little pins all over the place, so... I don't know, could be cool. There's about to be some hilarity. Old panniers are often real stinky. These ones don't smell too bad. Here's some old Novara blue panniers. Someone will want these. They're not really going to be waterproof. But they're a matching set and complete and have the hardware. Usually you can get $15 a piece for old panniers. Maybe we can get $30 for that pair. Maybe. This looks like some hilarity. Some irony. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Here is just a generic made in Taiwan black modern road fork. It is 1-inch threadless. It has a Chris King headset top plate thing stuck to it. So that means it's probably a Chris King base plate. It's cool. I don't really deal with Chris King stuff, but steel. Is it 1-inch threadless? It looks 1-inch threadless. I'm going to say 1-inch threadless. With some Chris King parts, road fork, skylit, so it's probably got a little more clearance. It's not light. This is heavy. This would have been cool too on the Kilo TT, with that carbon fork in. But I bet you it fits at least 25s or maybe 28s. It is not light. Okay, what else we got? Ooh! This looks like stainless steel, but I'm sure it's just chrome. Yeah, I'm sure it's just like a brushed nickel chrome. Road fork. Spinner? It's got spinner dropouts. Never heard of that. It's cool. It's light. It's roady. It's a lot lighter than that black one. It's 1-inch threaded. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Good replacement fork for something. And we got this 1-inch threadless Easton EC70 road fork. It's pretty light. It's like an aluminum steer, but it's extra thick to be aluminum. But you know, used carbon, people are psychos who use used carbon if you ask me. I don't see any giant nicks or dings or anything, but it says Easton, which is a fancy name brand. And it's roady, and it's 1-inch threadless. This might be worth a few bucks on the eBay. Someone's a crazy person. Or maybe it's AL19. So the dropouts are stamped. Aluminum dropouts. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Not for me, definitely for sale. Ooh, and this is my favorite thing, how ugly this is. It's Performance brand. I think it's missing a part. I believe this is one of those time trial things where you stick this under your saddle and clamp it to the rails of your saddle, and then it sticks out and you can do 2 water bottle cages like off the back. So you have 2 extra water bottles you can reach. I don't know. It's missing parts. It's cool. It's light. It's aluminum. It's thick. It looks heavy, but I wish I had the other part. It's totally ugly and ridiculous. That is it. Other than that, there's one little scrap of rim tape in there, and that is my $40 mystery surprise box, which could be totally cool, could be totally junk, could waste a bunch of my time, could make some money on. You know, I'd have bought all this stuff at salvage sales, I guess, if I saw it there, and if the total came out to $40, I'm like, yeah, totally, that's cool. So, hopefully, salvage sales is on again like normal next week. I'll get more sales. Maybe I'll find some cool stuff. I just had a guy come give me $100 for some used campy parts off a bike I bought. So that was fun. He bought a track drop off me off eBay for $20. That's all you can get for me. He drove down and he asked me about old campy stuff. I'm like, I do have a bunch of old campy stuff. I didn't have to clean it. I didn't have to list it on eBay. I didn't have to wait for it to sell. I didn't have to pack it and ship it. I didn't have to pay any seller fees. So I gave him a good deal on some stuff. Stuff I probably would have asked at least $200 for on eBay, and I told him $100. You're saving much time and energy, and you're here and you need it. He's like, I'm an old guy. I want a fixed budget. He's restoring some cool old 60s and 70s bikes. It's got Bob Jackson and old Lejeune and some stuff. I was like, that's fun. The guy's like 75. I took my number. It's like, I'm going to want to call you for more parts. I have lots more questions. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. So that is my score. It's only 35 minutes. Not bad, including a dog. Who's curled up right there, being so cute. You're being so cute, little curly bub. I do not know his name. No matter what I say to him, he ignores me. He only cares about treats and going outside. All he wants to do is walk around the neighborhood and pee on everything. I let him run off the leash a few times, hoping he'd go home. He doesn't. The only house he ever went to was my friend Lola's house because her dogs were barking out the front. The only house in the neighborhood I know for sure he didn't come from. It's raining really bad today, but I'm planning on putting some flyers up. I'm planning on taking him and getting him, see if he's got a chip. But he's in kind of a state of neglect. He's too thin and has fleas, and his nails have never been trimmed. And, he's never spayed or neutered or whatever. Probably better off finding somebody who would take care of him. So part of me has crossed my fingers he's got no chip and I won't find the person and I can rehome him someplace nice. If I was rich, I'd probably keep him. He is so lovely. But my dog's feeling a little neglected and he is so sweet. I love him. I mean, I love this little jerk. He is amazing and sweet and just wants to cuddle. But I live in a rental. My landlord, I think they'll let us have one dog, and I have to pay an extra $35 a month for her. And flea medicine's like $40 a month now, and getting them spades $1,000, or getting them neutered. I mean, it's like $1,000, and vet bills and stuff. I'm like, I don't have it. How many more bikes and parts do I have to sell? So we'll see. I don't know if you're in the Portland, Oregon area and you want the cutest little 6 or 7 or 8 pound little terrier chihuahua blend. He's adorable with little splayed feet and stuff, and he is a real sweetheart. Great with kids. Every kid who runs up, he's like says hi to see them and doesn't jump on them. He doesn't bother them. So lets them pet him a little bit. He wants to meet every dog. He's so excited to meet dogs. And he just wants to sniff them. And he doesn't jump on them or go crazy. He's a wonderful dog. Probably give him a flea bath today. Take him into the old vet. Let me know if you're in town and in love with this guy or want to come get him. Alright, that's my stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm going to run to my storage unit today as well, probably. If not, I'll do it tomorrow for sure. I'm going to get that last few parts, and I'm going to finish this Kilo TT chrome and carbon bike I'm building for the last 2 videos. No one cares. No one will probably care about the 3rd one either. But I'm going to care, and I'm going to get it done, and it's going to be cool, and I'm going to sell it. Hopefully for too much money. So anyways, thanks for watching.